Hey everybody, this is Steve Baskis. I just wanted to go over Pro Tools in a general way today, just talk a little bit about what is possible with the software program from the standpoint or the perspective of a blind person. I'm completely blind. I lost all my sight during combat operations in May of 2008, serving with the U.S. Army, and I'm still here and kicking and trying to learn how to make music. And Pro Tools, a digital audio workstation made by Avid, is a very accessible software program, especially when you use it alongside a few other applications like Keyboard Maestro and Flo Tools. So let me unmute Voiceover.
Voiceover unmuted.
If you're not familiar with Voiceover, go to Google and search for Apple Voiceover. And probably the first heading, one of the first search results will allow you to learn a little bit about what a screen reader is, and Apple's screen reader is Apple Voiceover.
Command, find, Pro Tools, Pro Tools.
So we're here in Pro Tools. I hit Command Tab, to switch windows and to get into Pro Tools. Now this is really something just to listen to. You're not going to see too many things. I have some things disabled to not allow Voiceover, like the cursor, to see. You're not going to really see where I'm moving necessarily, but you're going to hear the commands. And I just want to demonstrate to people who are not blind, who are sighted, that don't really understand maybe what's happening. So essentially, this voice that you hear,
Tracks, track list, 1 vocal, audio.
that is describing items on the screen that you can visually see. And Pro Tools is a pretty complicated software program for audio manipulation and creation. And so I've spent a lot of time, the last 12 years, using Voiceover and JAWS. It's another a screen reader made by Freedom Scientific. It's Job Access with Speech is what JAWS stands for. And so that's used on PCs with Microsoft Windows systems. Apple has its own screen reader, Voiceover, like I mentioned. It's built into all of their technology and software. It's built into the OS, the operating system. And so I'm running a Mac Mini with Apple Mac OS 10.15.4 Catalina. The date right now, it's around May 19th, 2020, to give you some perspective. But I really want, if you're still watching this and not bored, I want to demonstrate I want to move around in Pro Tools and kind of explain things so that you get an idea, because I'm going to show this to some of the students I am attending college with, because I'm studying right now currently online at Berklee College of Music out of Boston, and they're a well-known music school, and so I'm studying to be a music producer and audio engineer, more or less. So let's get right to it. I'm basically using the left and right arrow keys to move around. I have to press something called the VO keys, the voiceover keys, Control and Option. So it's a combination of these key commands that allow me to move around the screen and hear where I am. And then I can use other key commands to interact or press or click, or even do a mouse click, a left click, a right click, drag things. All that is possible for the blind and visually impaired. So if I go up to the very top, top left, if I keep hitting the left arrow,
close button,
I hit the close button. This is the close button for the window that I am in Pro Tools. I can minimize it.
Minimize button.
I can full screen.
Full screen button.
And then,
this button also has an action to zoom the mix, Southern Road.
Then it's reading a heading of the mix.
Full mix, Southern Road Practice.
Southern Road Practice. And so I'm hitting the right arrow now because I was at the extreme.
Full close button.
You hear that like ting, and then you hear the word close being repeated.
Close button.
That just means I'm at the far end of the screen at the very top left corner. So I want to keep moving down through the window to read what we have here. So I'm going to go to our first track in this session, and it's a vocal.
Minimum. Full script. Mix. Tracks. Track list pop-up. One vocal. Audio track.
One vocal. So I have a control surface in front of me. That's an actual piece of hardware that allows me to interact with the software program, Pro Tools. This control surface is made by Presonus, and it's called the Fader Port 8. And so if I hit solo on this control surface, you should, well, she might be soloed already. Let's see. I'm going to press play. I need a tab to transients. So let's see.
I look down my window.
So yeah, she's got a little reverb on her voice. So if I solo her, you'll hear the other instruments.
I look down my window 1,000 times.
So yeah, it's pretty amazing. And then I could solo her again. Solo. I'm soloing the track, meaning if there's multiple tracks in the session, I can silence all of them and just listen to this track.
I look down my window.
That's what that means. So I unsolo her and you hear all the instruments.
I look down my window 1,000 times. Same sweet landscape, always a new sunrise.
So that's, you know, I can mute that track too and just listen to the instruments. So let's mute. I can bring her back in.
Down my window. Landscape, always.
So I was muting her and unmuting her. But you get the point. Like I can move to a different instrument. Let's move to
Control. 2 hi-hat. 3 kick trigger.
the kick. It's on the 3rd track, so I'm going to move my hand to the control surface, and I can feel 1, 2, 3, because there's buttons and there's these faders, these motorized faders that move. And if you've ever looked at a console or a picture of a console in a recording studio, you'll see all those buttons, and it looks almost like a spaceship, like a control, and the controls for a spaceship. But let me solo the kick. So you can hear just the kick drum. So it's pretty amazing, right? All right, so let's unmute her. All right. So yeah, this is, let me show you how I make selections.
Quick nav off.
So I use the down arrow to drop a insertion point and the up arrow to finish my insertion point. So that's a selection. Sorry, my watch is talking to me. Things that talk. That's a blind person's friend.
I look down my window 1,000 times. Same sweet landscape, always a new sunrise. I'm always surprised.
So I'm going to select one of these words.
Same sweet landscape, always a new sunrise. I'm always surprised.
I tried to select surprise. So I'm going to try to increase that. Let's say if I press Option.
One vocal. Audio track.
Surprised. My feet click fast.
Actually, what is my nudge value? Let's see. Command.
Command.
F7.
1 bar. Nudge.
Oh, no wonder. Let me change this.
Option. Command. Command. Type nudge value.
I'm going to change it to 25 milliseconds. So 0.0.25, or not milliseconds, ticks.
Mixer scroller.
So if I hit Command
Command.
F7,
25 ticks. Nudge.
so 25 ticks. That's my shortcut to get to ticks. And so and that's just like, there's bars, beats, ticks. 1 bar, 4 beats, and 1,000, I think 1,000 ticks is what it is. But that make up sections of a song. And so like for instance, if I go, let's see,
Control.
back to the vocal.
2 hi-hat. 1 vocal.
So I'm using control and the semicolon and P. I hold the control key down and then I press P to go up and control and semicolon to go down. So like if I hit control,
Control.
and semicolon,
2 hi-hat.
I'm on hi-hat. If I go P, which is back up the list, track list, it's the vocal.
1 vocal.
And so if I'm on the vocal, I hit return, and then I can make sure
Command, Option.
tab to transients is on by pressing Command, Option, and Tab.
Tab to transients on.
So that allows me to move from the very top of the session to the first instance of sound on this track, which is, if I want to check what track I've selected for editing, I hit Option Shift L.
Option Shift. 1 selected. 1 vocal audio.
So I know that the vocal track is selected. So if I hit Tab and then I press play, we should hear the voice immediately.
I look down,
Especially if I solo it. Let's do that again.
I look down,
So now if I wanted to make a selection of a word, or try to make one, let's see. I'm going to do the down arrow and the up arrow.
I look down my window,
So I tried to select window.
I win.
Now I can adjust the insertion, the first insertion point, by pressing Option and the plus and minus keys. So I can increase the selection by pressing Option minus. Let's see. Let's listen to it again.
I win.
Let's do it a little bit more to get the
Option.
front part of window.
I win.
Might be a bit much.
Option.
So Option plus. Now I'm going to do Command plus
Command.
to do the second insertion point to get the do. Now let's listen.
A window 1,000 times. Same sweet landscape. A window
I lost the
Command.
selection. Let me
Undo nut clip and forward.
a window 1,000 times.
do this again.
Command. Undo nut clip and forward. Undo nut clip and forward.
A window 1,000.
Command.
I made a mistake. Let me-
Command. Undo nut clip and undo nut clip and undo nut clip start. Undo nut clip start forward.
A window. A window. A window.
Command.
Try this again.
A window.
There you go.
Command.
A window. A window. A window.
Command.
A window. A window. A window.
Let me turn off loop playback. I'm just doing that by touching the control surface.
Command.
Command plus.
A window.
So I got window almost. Now I'm
Option.
Option minus.
A window.
So there you go. That's pretty powerful, right, for me to have that ability. Now I could play everything in front of the first insertion point by pressing Option left
Option.
arrow.
I look down
My, and then she says window, because the beginning of the insertion point is right in front of window. And then if I hit
Command.
and right arrow, it'll play everything after do.
1,000 times.
I still need to select a little bit more, I guess, of do. Let's see. This is hard to teach and do this
Command.
at the same time.
Command. Command.
1,000 times.
Command. Command.
1,000 times. 1,000 times.
So there we go. So let's just play it. Let's hear what window sounds like.
A window. A window. A window. A window.
So yeah, it's pretty much got window. I could probably...
Option.
A window. A window.
Control. Option.
I look down my.
Yeah. She's singing really close, or the words are very tight. But that gives you an idea of how a blind person would select something. You know, and then I could turn it into slip mode by pressing F2.
Slip mode off. Slip mode
And
on.
I could cut it, Command X.
Command. Cut.
And now, if we listen, if I hit spacebar, we won't hear anything.
1,000 times.
Because I took it out of there. But I want to put it back.
Command.
Z, Command.
Command.
Z,
Undo cut.
and now press play.
A window. A window.
And so if I wanted to shuffle mode, it'll just snap together.
Shuffle mode on.
So
A window.
I got the selection. Now if I hit delete,
1,000 times.
it can't, there's no blank space. So I'm going to hit Command
Command.
Z.
Undo clear.
I'm going to copy it,
Command. Copy.
Window
and then I'm going to delete it,
1,000
and then I'm going to go somewhere else and insert it.
Quick nav on. Quick nav off.
1,000 times.
So let's read.
1,000 down. I look down. I look down my.
Option.
I look down.
So let's put it right in between down and
Command.
1,000 times.
Command.
1,000 times.
Option.
I look down.
so right here, I guess.
Command. Paste.
And so if I read,
I look down window 1,000 times.
I didn't do a very good job there. I should find some areas that are more spaced out.
Command. Undo. Undo clear. Undo copy.
So here we go. Now everything's back. But I just hit Command Z to undo.
I look down my window 1,000.
There's some artifacts from cutting the.
Undo not clip start. Undo not clip. Undo not clip. Undo not clip. Undo not clip. Undo not clip start.
Let's see what it sounds like.
I look down my window 1,000 times.
Because I was nudging it. I'm a little too quick sometimes, but you don't want to nudge the actual audio. You want to just nudge the insertion points. So what else can I show you guys? I can take the reverb off. Let's see.
Quick nav on. Track list pop up. One vocal. In one insert A.
Go to the inserts.
Open. Insert. Open. AIR reverb. Insert. Open. Insert. No insert. Press no insert.
So now I took the reverb off.
I look down my window 1,000 times.
She doesn't sound like she's in a space. Just her solid voice.
I look down my window.
What's some other things I can demonstrate for you guys? I can drop markers. If I want to drop markers, then basically I press on my control surface. I'll put a marker here.
Control. New memory location window. Edit text content mixer scroller mix.
And
Sub
then
quick nav off.
I'll play and go to another section.
I look down my window 1,000 times.
So I'm going to put one here after times.
New memory location window. Mixer scroller mix.
And then let's
Southern Road practice window.
Let's keep going.
Same sweet landscape, always a new sunrise. I'm always surprised.
So I'll put one right after surprise. Let's see.
New memory location window. Edit text content select now in mix. Southern Road practice.
So now So if I go to the top of the session and I turn this dial, like if I hit play, you're not going to hear anything. Nothing. But if I turn this dial, I'll go to the first marker I made.
I look down my.
And then this one should be after surprise, this next one.
Same sweet landscape.
So if I hit Option left arrow, you'll hear a surprise.
My window 1,000 times.
I'm sorry, I did it after times. This next one is after surprise. So if I hit Option left arrow.
I'm always surprised.
Yeah. And then this last one is somewhere else. Let's see.
I'm always surprised.
Maybe that was the last one.
I'm always surprised. I'm always.
But I could keep putting more, like I could keep going.
I feel.
Put another one right here.
New memory location window. Edit now in mix. Southern Road practice.
But this is really awesome if I need to figure out where I am.
I wonder who.
But yeah, it's a great navigational tool.
I looked. Same sweet. My feet click. I had no.
But yeah, that's a demonstration of those. If I hit Command 5, Command and the key 5 in the numeric keypad,
Memory locations checked. Memory locations.
can,
Memory locations window.
I gain access to the memory locations.
Memory locations pop-up button. Check new memory. Edit. Clear. Delete all.
I can delete them all.
Press delete all.
And
Closing
now,
menu.
now they're gone.
Locations pop-up button.
What are some other cool things like a blind person can do with Pro Tools? I guess I could just pan her voice left or right. Let's. So I'm just grabbing a knob here. Let me tab to transients. So now I'm going to pan her left.
I look down my window 1,000.
Let me make sure I'm on the right track.
Control. 2 hi-hat. 1 vocal. Quick nav off. Quick select memory locations pop-up button. Command edit mix checked. Now in mix 2 1 vocal in out auto read no group centered pan knob centered pan knob centered pan knob pan knob 100 to the left pan knob.
So now
pan
she's
knob.
to the left.
I look down.
And I'll move her to the right and center as I play it.
I look down my window 1,000 times. Same sweet landscape, always a new sunrise. I'm always surprised.
It's fairly close to centered.
Pick centered pan knob.
I look down my window.
So yeah, that's panning. I did that on my control surface, the Fader Port 8. I could automate. Let's see. I could do some automation. Let's go to Command 4.
Automation checked. Selected. Suspend automation. Press suspend automation button.
So I had automation suspended. Let's go back to the mix window.
Edit. Check. Mix checked. Now in.
So now if I do some, let's say I do some volume automation, I can, meaning I can program when levels go up and down or the audio moves left and right. So let's write some audio. Let's press play for a second.
I look down my window 1,000 times.
So now let's do some touch automation here. I can, I'm gonna pump the volume. I'm gonna bring her real low and then go up and then down.
I look down my window 1,000 times.
So now I move that with my hand, but now I'm not going to touch anything and it's going to move on its own. I'm just going to hit play, and I recorded that movement. And that's very important, you know, when you're making music. You know, maybe you want the vocal to be a little louder in sections because the instruments are loud, so you can in a subtle way bring it up. And that's what music, you know, audio sound engineers do when creating all this great music that you hear on the radio or in iTunes or, you know, the different streaming services nowadays. But here I'm going to press play, and you should hear the volume go up and down.
I look down my window 1,000 times. Same sweet.
So yeah, that's there's so much more I can do. I can pretty much do anything that a sighted person can do, and that's thanks to Apple Voiceover, the screen reader that's built into Mac OS, and Flo Tools. If you visit flotools.org, flotools.org, you can learn more about that application, and that works alongside Keyboard Maestro, because some scripts were designed to help keyboard commands work within Pro Tools to make blind or visually impaired sound engineers more efficient with their movements in the program using the screen reader. So I hope you enjoyed that. I know it was very long, but if you stayed with me, great. If you have any questions, write me an email, steve@baskis360.com. That's steve@baskis360.com. steve@baskis360.com. And if you love the video or you got something from it, share it to someone or subscribe. Thanks so much.
Menu extra. Stop.